Off-the-shelf firepower, a game of man-to-man squad tactics. Okay, first realization. With the first, what are they, impulses? With the first couple of impulse phases, now I figured out what the rules mean. So now we get to our first statuses. Okay, so this unit, this soldier. It's hard for me to call these units. I mean, in game terms, I should say unit, but soldier. I guess I'll switch over. This soldier moved here, but the soldier entered 3 new hexes. So that's right. This soldier went from here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that unit entered 4 new hexes. So in the basic game, if a soldier enters 4 new hexes, it's marked as running. So we have these, there's a name for these markers. I can't remember what they are. Pollard markers, I think. Whatever, but they use each side of the marker indicates something different. So we're going to mark that soldier there as running. So I'm going to orient the R for running to be facing the same top of the unit, of the soldier's marker. And I can put it just next to it or whatever, as long as it's clear, I think. So I've indicated that unit is run. Also, the next, I went ahead and drew the next sequence unit, and it's another green impulse. Okay, now I think we can talk a little bit more about an impulse phase. So the impulse phase has a few steps. I assume they have to be resolved in this order. So first we remove speed units. When a sequence unit is drawn, all speed units marking that side soldiers are removed from play. So this is the green side again. Greens, or whatever player, drew the sequence unit. So I think that this speed unit is removed. It's a speed unit. It was already there. It's a new impulse phase. So I guess it's removed. Then we have removal of suppressed status units. So we have these markers called units. This is a directional unit. I think I'm going to like this a lot. And on the back is a status unit. So it has the 4 sides that can be used separately. And I think in the basic game we have suppressed there, sup, and STN for stunned. I don't think we used pinned or inactive in the basic game, I think. So, but anyways, when we're talking about removing the suppressed unit units, that's what they're referring to. Then we have change of stunned status units. When all actions in an impulse phase have been completed, that is at the end of each these are not in order. Okay. Okay, what does it say? When all actions in an impulse phase have been completed, that is at the end of each impulse phase, all stunned status units marking that side soldiers are changed to show that the soldiers are now suppressed. So basically stun goes to suppressed, and then suppressed is removed before. Okay. Okay. So what I was wondering was, with the new draw of a sequence unit, can the same units that acted before act again? And so far I don't see anything that prohibits it. So I guess that the answer to that question is yes. But I'm going to move some units on the other side of the formation here. Okay, so what I started to do, because I wanted to move these 2 soldiers forward down the road here. And right away I noticed, okay, they did set up in a depression. It looks like a depression anyways. So it looks like they set up in a depression. And I think, I'm not positive, but it makes sense, that I think that they should have directional arrows on them to show that they are on the downside of that depression. I'm not positive of that, but I'm thinking. And the reason why is because, so when I want to move this first unit here, I think that the first movement point is to go from down to up. So really it's the same hex. Directional arrow changes, I think, to show that he's now on the upside, and that's 1. Then it's 2, 3, and 4. He only entered 3 new hexes, so he's not running. I think that's how it's supposed to be. So I'll do the exact same thing for this guy. He goes up, and then 2, 3, 4. I think that's how that's supposed to be done. Next, a tan sequence unit is pulled. So we'll start with this soldier here. 1, 2, 3, 4. He entered 4 new hexes, so he is indicated as running. That, and then I'm assuming that these green hexes are not any different. That they're just that it's just 1 to enter the new hex. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Also running, indicated as running, like that. So they move forward, each one 4 hexes marked as running. Then a green sequence marker is pulled, and those guys moved out of the depression and forward, but not running. And finally, tan sequence units drawn. So the first thing is these speed units are removed, and then we're gonna have to negotiate some terrain here. So we'll go. Well, no, we'll keep online. So 1, 2, 3, 4 running, and 1, 2, 3, 4 running. All the sequence units have been drawn, so I advance the turn marker and reshuffle the sequence units there and start another turn. What I'm going to do is I'm going to move the forces up quickly until we get to some fire combat. So I moved the units up until I got first contact. And I think that the green LMG up here on the rise is going to try to fire at the rifleman here in the trees. I'm not sure what type of unit the LMG is supposed to be, so I just grabbed a Bren. I'm going to treat this as a Bren, just to get into this. So we have a fire combat. Okay, to go through the basics first. Firing range: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Firing arc, well, it's 10 hexes, and the Bren right here go across. It has numbers all the way out to the max range for the game, 100 hexes there. So there, so no issue there. Firing arc, units can only fire out their, basically out their front hex. So you draw a line from here like that, and a line from here like that. So clearly the target is within the LMG's firing arc. A line of sight, determined, stringing center dot to center dot. We just have a depression there in between. So then deciding rate of fire. They're opening up for the first time, so green side is going to use the tactic of trying to gain fire superiority right away, so they are going maximum. So Again, back to the Bren. Big chart. Bren, come over here. This is the rate of fire column, and it's 2 times 4-2. So the 4 is, I think, fully automatic. 2 is semi-automatic. So I think the Bren is gonna, if it can, just go 2 rate of fire at 4 at full automatic. Okay, I thought I remembered something like that. So despite this, despite 2 times 4-2, there's only one target in the hex. So I think only one burst can be fired at the target. That should still be 4 shots. Okay, this is going to be a real quick initial resolution. I don't know if I've caught it all. Target is in the trees there. I think those are trees. 2 small trees. I think that is +2 to the die roll. 1 for concealment, 1 for cover, I think. And then the Bren here, the Bren at range of 9 to 12. There's the range 9 to 12 is 4/5. 4. There we go. 4/5. That should be 4 for automatic, 5 for semi-automatic. So I think that this is 1 hit, because so we need to roll 4 or less for a hit. So this is a modified, 9, 11, miss, 5 misses. 1 + 2 is 3, is still 4 or less, so it hits. So I think that the target's down, target's eliminated. Now let's say that this was also a 3 and missed. Because it was automatic fire, I believe that the target would be suppressed like that.